I want you boys to know that this is the hardest thing I've ever written. I think about you guys every day. The day you were born, I fell in love for the first time. You were the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen, and it was hard to believe that you were mine. I remember being so proud, not of me, but of your mommy. She worked so hard to make sure that you came out safely. I had to go back to work for the last few months you were still inside. I had to work some long days trying to make up for the lost time, because I screwed around when I first found out about you. I ran and found a distraction, something else to do. It's true. I'm sorry. But I was scared, and Daddy didn't know the first thing about being a parent. You see, I suffer from a disease known as addiction. No self-esteem, not a clue where I fit in. It was your mommy that never gave up on me. She told me to pull it together because you needed a daddy. I remember crying my eyes out, sitting out in the cold, till I called your Auntie Tara. She told me to come home. She said being a parent starts now, and she told me I could do it. She'd get my ass back home, and then they'd help me through it. So there I was, sitting on a bus. Headed back to Spirit River without a cent or even a sliver of an idea what I was going to do. All I know is I needed to make a home for you. So I worked real hard. I stayed the hell away from the drugs and the bars. And when the paycheck came, I spent every penny getting this little apartment ready. And I did it. I was so proud, because for the first time in my life, I didn't fall down. Unfortunately, afterwards, there was a fall, because certain people saw the apartment. They said it was too small. They said it wasn't good enough, and I felt like a failure. So they took us to the little city, and they bought us a trailer. And sure, that was nice of them, don't get me wrong, but I never earned it, so you know it wasn't long before I took it for granted, throwing parties. My views were so slanted. It wasn't even until I lost you that I'd even realized I lost me. And you had to go stay with my main papa in the big city. And I screamed. I was so mad at myself. But of course, me being me, I had to take it out on everybody else. You see, old behaviors and patterns were slipping up on me. I was using and lying, and everyone could see how scared I was. But some were also quick to say this was the first time in my life I didn't just run away. Instead, I got on track and picked up the slack, and in the end I finally got you back. After that, things got good. We were doing all the things that a family should. And then your mommy came home from work one day, and she told me you had a baby brother on the way. And hey, I was excited this time. Yes, I was nervous, but I sure wasn't thinking, what did I do to deserve this? I was thinking, wow, what did I do to deserve this? You see, I knew how much I loved you, and now I was getting another little man. So we kept working real hard. We got our new home ready, and then we had Cam. And you know how the story goes. Your brother was beautiful, 10 fingers, 10 toes, and I was so proud of the family I'd made, but I felt I earned as well. Fortunately, after that, things started going more wrong than right. Me and your mom were unhappy, so we started to fight. Just know we didn't give up. We could have, but we both refused. But of course, me being unhappy, I started hitting the booze. Trying to deal with the fact that when I lost her, I was going to lose you boys too. I know. It's such a disgusting way of thinking. But I'd always turned to drugs and drinking. Not that it ever helped, it's just the only way I could ever feel any fucking better about myself. Wow. I can't believe how stupid I sound. You know, the only time I've ever been happy is when you boys were around. I hate how everything has to be lost before it can be found. We figured maybe change the place, change the man, so we let the city move to the island, but it was no different than the mainland. Unhappy, it's unhappy, no matter where it's set. Your mom had enough, and that's when she left. She took you boys with her, and I was a mess. To say I got sad when I lost my family is so understated. I missed being a dad, and I hated myself for losing you two. My world was unreeling, and the pain that I was feeling was worse than anything I'd ever felt. That's when Daddy tried to hurt himself. Now, aside from losing you boys, it is the most disgusting thing I've ever done. And that is saying a lot, because I haven't exactly lived a life to be proud of. I know I got lucky when I think about how things went down. That rafter broke, I fell to the ground. People kept asking how I could be acting so foolish and been so retarded, but all I know is afterwards it was so much worse than when it started. This time, I knew exactly what to do. I threw away all my self-respect and I ran away from you two. I spent the next 10 years doped up in and out of jail. A few times I'd get clean, I'd get to see you boys, but then I'd fail. You see, my depression and my addiction are teaming up, and they're trying to kill me. And every time they come back, they're a little bit stronger, and it is so goddamn scary. But this is it, boys. This is the last chance for me. I'm putting everything I have into finally being free. You see, every time I fail, it's a lesson that I've learned. So every time I fail, it's a weapon that I've earned to fight back. I will not turn and run. I will put everything I have into making you proud to be my sons. So by the time you boys are old enough to hear this, people will say, his story, it's history. I'll have yours clean. You boys might even be proud of me. I guess we'll see. Anyways, boys, I just want you to know I love you. I always have. Sincerely, your daddy.